Podscribe's Campaign Planner is an awesome tool that allows you to plan for upcoming campaigns and see the available audiences and the net new reach of those audiences in those shows you're planning for to be able to make better and more intelligent planning decisions when it comes to where your advertiser or your brand should buy next. In order to navigate to this tool and use it, all you're going to want to do is click on the Campaign Planner tab right here. Now, once you get into this page, the first thing you're going to want to do is select the advertiser dropdown and choose the advertiser that you are planning these campaigns for. In this example, we're going to be using Macy's, but this is just a demo account. This is not Macy's data, but we'll use their brand name as the example. Once you click on that advertiser, some stats are going to load. In the bottom module, this is basically going to contain the list of shows Podscribe has found Macy's has bought ads on in the last either 3, 1, or 2 months. You can select those shows, and that audience will act as the base audience that will be compared to the new shows you're planning for. So in this example for Macy's, we can see in the last 3 months that Podscribe has found about 29 shows Macy's has bought on. They've bought about 36 million impressions across both podcast and YouTube. They've reached about 7.1 million listeners, and they've done that at a frequency of about 4.5. So again, these are the stats, the base audience that you're going to be comparing these new shows to. What you're going to want to do, because this is the base audience, is you're going to want to make sure that the shows Podscribe has picked up on and has found Macy's ads in are all of the shows that you know Macy's has bought on or that advertiser has bought on. So for instance, Podscribe found Macy's on 29 shows. When you click that drop down, you can see the list of shows here. If after looking through this, you see that Podscribe didn't pick up on a show you know that advertiser bought on, you can simply add that here. We'll add the Ben Shapiro show, for example. And if you see any shows here that you don't want to be compared or used in the comparison of the base audience, you can remove those as well. Once you're satisfied with the total shows and the shows that are going to be in your base audience, you can fold and close that drop down. Now that we have the base audience, the audience of the shows that Macy's has reached in the last 3 months, now we're going to move over to the planning section. All you're going to want to do is scroll down, and this is where you're going to start adding shows that you're planning for and see how those shows and their audiences compare to the shows and the audiences that Macy's has already reached. We'll start out by adding a show, let's say Up First, where let's say we're planning on buying Up First. As you add shows, you're going to get all of the details and show stats for that show, ad load, number of ads, renewal percent. You're also going to get some demographic information about that show's audience. But most importantly, you're going to see these 3 key metrics. One is going to be the number of listeners you could reach each month. For this Up First, it's 3.7 million. You're also going to see the number of new listeners that you can reach, which is 3.6 million. So these new listeners are listeners of Up First that will be hearing a Macy's ad for the first time that did not hear a Macy's ad on any of the other shows. And using that, it nets out to about a 98% new audience or incremental audience that you could reach by buying on Up First. As we add new shows, let's do SmartLess, we'll add revisionist history. You'll see, again, all of those stats for those shows here. So for instance, SmartLess, it has an audience of about 4.6 million, 3.8 million of that audience are going to be new, meaning that they have not heard a Macy's ad in the last 3 months, which nets out to an 82.7% of that audience being new. Same stats below here. You can see revisionist history actually has a lower net new audience, so 73.3% of revisionist history's audience will have not heard a Macy's ad on the previous shows they bought on. You can continue adding shows, you can remove them, but the power of this tool is really going to come up to the campaigns section. So under planned campaigns, you're going to see projected, and this is going to be a projection of the opportunity available through this plan. With those 3 shows, you can see that the available impressions are going to be about 2.5 million. You can see the available audience is 7.5 million, and 6.8 million of those shows' audiences are going to be new, which makes it about a 90.4% net new percentage. So again, 6.8 out of the 7.5 available people you can reach on this show will have not heard a Macy's ad on any of the other shows in the last 3 months. Now, there's 2 ways you can look at this tool. One, if you're trying to optimize for the largest net new reach, you want to find new opportunities of scale for this advertiser to reach new audiences they have not hit before. In that case, you're going to want to find shows that maximize that net new reach. The other way you can use this tool is from a retargeting standpoint. If, for instance, this advertiser knows that they have to hit the same people multiple times in order to get them to convert, you're going to want to be looking for shows that have a lower net new reach. So again, 90.4% 50% of these shows' audiences being new is a pretty high net new reach. So in the case where we'd want to optimize for retargeting and lowering that net new reach, we're going to want to find shows that have a lower net new reach. So let's try Fresh Air, 97. Let's try True Crime Obsessed, 91. And you can continue adding shows until you find ones in your plan that can optimize. So for instance, the Dan Labart show in this example, the net new audience is only 88.9%, which is lower. So that could be a good opportunity if this advertiser is focused on retargeting to buy on that show. Again, you can use the tool however you want. Those are the two instances. But to summarize, you start out by finding and identifying that base audience. So again, that's the 29 shows that we know that Macy's has bought on in the last 3 months. This audience and the people and the listeners that have been exposed to these Macy's ads are going to be what we compare the new audiences to for shows that we're planning. So this allows you to quantify the net new reach of shows that you're planning for in order to make a better case for why an advertiser should buy on this show, or to lower that net new reach for the planned campaigns to again make a case for why this advertiser should buy in terms of retargeting these people and hitting listeners that have already been exposed to Macy's ads on different shows from different voices. Once you're satisfied with your campaign, you can come over to the right-hand side and download this. It'll be downloaded directly to your computer. You can upload that in Google Sheets and turn it into whatever report you want to present to that advertiser. There's some other functionality here too. We can filter by all of the same show filtering that's available in Podscribe's research database. If we want to look for certain genres, publishers, demographic information, and narrow the selection of planned campaigns and shows available for those by this criteria, you can also do that. So a lot of functionality. You can search for shows here, but try it out, start playing around, add shows, remove shows, see how they change the total campaign audience you could reach and what the percentage of net new audiences available are. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our team. But once again, this is the campaign planner tool available in Podscribe. If you are a verification, air checks, attribution client, you will have access to this. So yeah, definitely try it out.